Ladies and gentlemen, this is David Mirikitani with another episode of Weighing In, brought to you by Nike Wrestling. Go to athleteps.com for all of your Nike and USA Wrestling branded gear. By Resolite.com, the #1 mat company in the world, and pureandclean.us. I have my good friend, pinch hitting again, Eddie Woody Sr. I'll introduce him in a moment. But Eddie, I was thinking about this. There'll be a lot of Nike schools wrestling this weekend. They'll be wrestling on Resolite mats. And I know for a fact Pure and Clean will be down there cleaning up, my guy Ryan Freeman and Jake Buckner. So we're going to talk about the national duels today. And I talked to you off air. You're awfully fired up about this, right?
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Yep, it's going to be a good weekend. We did a podcast earlier where we picked the top quarter bracket, and collectively we picked Iowa over Missouri, Illinois over Little Rock, then Iowa over Illinois. I'm filling out our own bracket here on our Google document, which we can share. And then I got Mizzou over Little Rock on the backside. I would be remiss if I did not mention that today, 11/12, is signing day. This podcast will probably come out on the 13th, but there's a bunch of people that we know, Eddie, all over the country. We're blessed. Wrestling's a big family. You're really in that because of the age of your son, where these guys and young ladies that are a year older are signing, and you have friends that kids are in college. You have kids or friends in 7th, 8th, 6th grade. But
yes,
big
sir.
group of big batch of kids signed today. I don't want to name anybody because I don't want to leave anybody out. But I will say this collectively, all the border brawlers, very proud of you. I think that's something I can say that, and all the kids that were good enough that we wish we had in border brawl, I'm very proud of you too.
Yes, sir.
So for sure. All right, so we're going to start with the second quarter of the bracket, and that is, we've got a difficult one right off the top, Northern Iowa against NC State. So I'm going to pull up here, first of all, how Flow Wrestling has it. So if you're watching this, and I'll read it off if not. So they've got who's ranked and everything else, but Northern Iowa, their probable lineup: Trevor Anderson, Julian Farber, Corey Land, Caleb Rachi, RJ Weston, Ryder Downey, Jared Sima, CJ Walrath, Caleb Runyon, Wyatt Volker. NC State, Vincent Robinson, Zach Reddington, Ryan Jack, Coy Biskins, Jackson Arrington, Will Denny, Matt Singleton, Donald Cates, Kason Howell, Everest Ouellette. What's really prominent there, Eddie, no Isaac Trumbull, which might make a massive difference in this duel. North Carolina State has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys ranked, 5 in the top 11. Northern Iowa's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 guys ranked, only 1 in the top 6. So this is a perfect example of where you would probably pick one team in a tournament and another team in a dual meet. So I think that's how this is going to shake out. So I will now go over to Matt King's. Love these guys here. We're going to share this tab. So I'm just going to walk through this, Eddie, and you tell me if you have a disagreement as we go. Vincent Robinson over Trevor Anderson, Julian Farber over Zach Redding, Ryan Jack over, let me go back and look at their lineup, probably Corey Land. So if that's correct, then we got a 2-1. The Biskins Caleb Rachi match, I'll call that a toss-up for now. We'll come back to it. Jackson Arrington over RJ Weston makes it 3-1-1. Ryder Downey over true freshman Will Denny makes it 3-2-1. Matt Singleton over Sima makes it 4-2-1. CJ Walrath over an unranked guy 4-3-1. 197, Patrick Brophy's not wrestling first semester either. So it's going to be Caleb Runyon against Kason Howell. So it's probably 4. Really, say it's a toss-up, then it's 4-3-2. And then if you go to the last matchup, Wyatt Volker's a big favorite. So it's 4-4-2. And they're probably getting bonus. I think this duel leans Northern Iowa. I feel like NC State, if they had Brophy, and had Trumbull, A, would win the duel, and B, would provide a much more difficult test for who I believe Oklahoma State, who's going to win their duel because of Cornell not being at full strength. Tell me where I'm right or wrong on this.
I think you hit it squarely on the head. I mean, like when you think about these picks not having, they're starting 197 and they're starting heavyweight, who's ranked number 2 in the country in the lineup. That's significant because there's not a whole lot of separation in the rankings aside from, Robinson versus Anderson. That's a 1 versus number 12, but the rest of these matchups are kind of even. Hey, and I want to say I'm proud of you saying Rachi's name right, because a lot of people will say Rathjen and a whole bunch of other combinations of it.
I got honorary Iowa citizenship. Come on now.
100%. I'm like, I asked his dad. I'm like, hey, how do you say your name? And he's like, Rachi. And I'm like, all right, you got it.
So I did know this from all the years, but Kirk Rachi is very good friends with Michael Ross, who you're friends with. So yes, Michael Ross told me if I got Rachi wrong, that I lose my Edmond, Oklahoma privileges.
Okay. So you'd be like, that's a double negative for Oklahoma and Iowa. But
there's about 6 cities in America where I got privileges for sure. Like Tulsa, Oklahoma City, Des Moines, Kansas City. That's at least 4.
Yeah.
If I have enough toki, I consider myself the unofficial mayor of St. Louis, so that's 5.
No, I think you're spot on with this dude. I think that not having those 2 big heavy hitters makes a big change in the way I saw this working out. But that's why you got the good information, because I'm like, man, no Brophy, no Trumbull, and I was here thinking, oh yeah, this is going to be a walk for them. Because I feel like with those guys in the lineup, it is kind of a walk.
Yeah, and you kind of want to see Wyatt Volker get tested, right? Like, and he will in the next round.
Yes.
But you want to see that. And I want to say this, all respect to Northern Iowa. They built something great up there. They've built depth, and depth really shows up in dual meets. But Vincent Robinson and Isaac Trumbull would be projected to outscore the entire Northern Iowa team at the NCAAs, and that's just based on how point scoring works.
Yes.
So
I do have a question. Do you know who his replacement is?
I don't.
Okay. So
I don't think it's anybody that you're really worried about. Let's just put it that way.
Right. So you're probably like looking at 6 there.
Well, here's how we were doing it on the first day. If it's the Woodies against the Mirikitanis and you're going to win 6 matches, okay, even if all your 6s are decisions, I got to get 7 bonus points in my 4 matches to beat you. Because even if it's 6 and it's 18-18, the first criteria is dubs, and you'd have me. So I don't see North Carolina State getting enough. I mean, Vincent Robinson could bonus. He's the number 1 guy in the country. Right. Maybe Ryan Jack gets a pin against an unranked guy. Okay. Maybe Jackson Arrington gets bonus against a number 30 guy. Okay. So, I mean, it's possible. Like, let's put it this way. If it's 11-3, 10-3 North Carolina State after the first 3 matches, like if V-Rob goes major or tech and Farber gets a win and Ryan Jack gets a pin, now it gets interesting.
Then it's very interesting. But
let's walk through that. So if it's 11-3, Biskins say he wins as a favorite, 14, and it's the only way the duel is interesting. If Biskins doesn't win, it's not interesting.
Right.
So it's 14-3, then Arrington wins 17-3. You got to figure Ryder Downey's going to get a major, so it's 17-7. Singleton is 20-7. And so then CJ Walrath, Volk, I mean, they got to get 13 points. But if then it would come down to criteria. So, listen, North Carolina State's got a path to victory for sure.
They do.
Because I think if you go Robinson, let me count the matches I think they win. I think it's 5-5 now that I say it. Vincent Robinson's 1, Ryan Jack is 2, Biskins is 3, Jackson Arrington's 4, Singleton's 5.
Right.
I think they win those 5. So it's a 5-5 duel. And this is my one complaint about the national duels. They did this criteria. Willie went on and they did how if everybody wrestled everybody. If you did that for the top 4, why didn't you do it all the way down to 16?
Right.
Like this is the argument they used to seed 4 guys at nationals, then 8, then 12, then 16. And then now they did it to 33, which is what you're supposed to do. If you have the data, use it. If you trust your methodology, then use it. If you don't, then don't. But to be fair, it's easy to go second. I've started events, I've ran events, and you clean them up every year, they get better and better. So, okay, so I'm going to take, maybe I'm talking myself into taking NC State. I just don't think so.
Because initially I did have a 7-3 initial with NC State, but with they're
not winning 97 in heavy. It's 5-5. And Caleb Rachi can beat Biskins, and that makes it 6-4.
So that's another one. That's kind of a swing match. That's the match that I think that this whole duel is going to be hung on.
And to be fair, Zach Redding could beat Julian Farber. They're the same distance apart in the rankings. 13-20 is 7. 15-8 is 7.
Well, I have 13-22 and 8-11 for the Rachi and Biskins.
Yeah. So the one these people are looking at, it's a combination of open mat, inner mat, and flow, and they take the average.
Okay, I got you.
So you picked one set of rankings, which is fine. Yeah. No problem. No methodology of better or worse, but just if people are watching or listening, that's why we have different data.
Yeah.
But the point is, both of those are sort of within the delta of what could happen, right?
But overall, I agree with you. It's a 5-5 match. And if you have some changes like Rachi winning or Redding winning, any of those other folks changing the outcome, that would be major. But I think those are the 2 matches that kind of like could kind of set the tone. So we'll see. Man, this is going to be fun. So what are you going to go with?
I put Northern Iowa in the bracket.
And so there's no chance that Brophy or Trumbull getting any time this weekend.
Brophy's not eligible till the semester.
Okay.
And Trumbull's hurt.
Okay. So there you go. So either way,
let's go to the next one because I think this is an easy duel to pick.
Yeah.
Okay, but
it's going to be short-lived for you and I if they win.
Well, no. Oklahoma State is a major favorite over Cornell. And the problem is we're not going to see Meyer Shapiro, Landon Robidoux. Hopefully we'll see Simon Ruiz, Alex Facundo. Although if you look at Facundo's path, theoretically, if NC State won, he would go Simon Ruiz, then he would go Matt Singleton, then he would go Patrick Kennedy, and then he would go Christopher Minto. So I could certainly see from a load management point of view, if Oklahoma State's up, say 5-1 in matches, Facundo doesn't wrestle here. So this could be a duel. If Cornell is wrestling against Vega, that would really be fun. But I don't see a path. There's almost zero path for Cornell to get to 5 wins.
Yeah. What do they have Vega ranked? Because on the rankings on Flow, they don't have him at all. And that's the only ones I.
Yeah, he's the one source has him 13, one source has him 20. Okay. And Cornell is ranked 14th. So it's right, they're right there. So that'd be a fun match to see.
Absolutely.
We'll see if we see Ferrara or Unger. We'll see if we see Ronnie Ramirez at 33. And the other thing we forget, and we'll get to this when we get to our third podcast that we do today, but there's going to be some shuffling around to try to win duels. So let's do this. So I think we are picking Oklahoma State, correct?
Easily.
Okay. All right. So let's run North Carolina State against Oklahoma State and just see if there's 5 wins for North Carolina State. And then we'll do the same for Northern Iowa. Vincent Robinson, even though it's 1 versus 2, has beaten Spratley twice. So I think you have to pick him. Right. Ryan Jack is ranked above Figueroa. Singleton is ranked above Facundo, but they would need Jackson Arrington to beat Landon Robidoux, which they could, and they would need Coy Biskins to beat Swiderski, which could happen. That's their 5.
Did you see Robidoux wrestle? Like, you think that? I don't know, man. That kid looked amazing.
I know, but we saw Casey Swiderski look amazing, and then he got boat raced by Valencia. So I'm just saying, I'm just trying to find the path to victory for 5 matches. And if they were to win 5, the only way they win 6 is if they win V-Rob, Reddington, Jack, Biskins, Arrington, Singleton. They got to win 6 of the first 7. Okay. And that's asking a lot. So what I'm saying is I'm trying to figure out if the Northern Iowa NC State duel, who we pick, matters that much. Like if we go, oh, well, this one team could beat them. So if we go to Northern Iowa, and again, I mean, look at it. It's all green on Oklahoma State.
That's like,
so,
I don't think that, I think when it comes to Oklahoma State, they're going to be in that semi. I mean, it's just, they're looking really good. And those freshmen are feeding off each other. I'm like, the type of energy that they're putting out. I mean, they're wrestling like vets, you know, Robidoux and
there you go.
Lockett. Yeah. Like all 3 of those guys look super tough. I mean, so
we agree collectively. I mean, I guess this matters. Do you want to pick NC State or Northern Iowa on the front?
Well, when you pulled up that screen, it looked like we should have picked NC State because.
All right, so we'll pick NC State. We will go back, and then Northern Iowa would wrestle Cornell on the back, and Cornell doesn't have enough, so we have Northern Iowa advancing on the backside.
Right.
Okay, so we are gonna stop this one. We're gonna come back literally in 5 minutes and do the third quarterfinal bracket. We thank you guys for watching and listening. We'll be right back.